If I asked you right now to name your best client and tell me exactly how they found you, could you do it? Not the easy answer, the real answer. Most business owners can name their lead source. Did it come from a referral, a form fill, a LinkedIn message? But that's only the surface. The actual story of how that client came to exist often traces back 2 or 3 steps further to something that you did months or years earlier without realizing that it was working. Today, I'm walking through something I call the Ideal Client Origin Roadmap. It is a simple exercise that traces your best clients back to their true root, not just the last touch point before they signed. So by the end of this episode, you will understand why this matters and have a clear way to start mapping it for your own business. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe marketing shouldn't be difficult and it definitely shouldn't be guesswork. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I am excited to dig into this with you. This was actually an exercise that I went through, 6 to 8 months ago, and the process really stuck with me. And so I hope it sticks with you. It is incredibly powerful and it is simple. So let's first begin by talking about how did they find us is the wrong question. It's the wrong question to ask. Most business owners stop at the immediate source. Someone refers a client, so the answer becomes referrals are a thing. But it's not specific enough to act on. The immediate source rarely gives you the entire picture or the real story. A referral came from somewhere. That somewhere came from something else. And if you don't know what that something is, you can't repeat it on purpose. So, growth often feels random because we're reacting to results without understanding the system that produced them. We need to have enough data to make strong, actionable decisions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down. So how you actually start this process is draw a grid with 5 columns and 5 rows. Okay. So it's just a grid. And I'm going to describe this to you. In column 1, you are going to put your 5 best clients. Okay, your 5 best clients. And when I talk about your best clients, I'm talking about you love working with them. They're profitable and you're getting great results and outcomes for. Your best clients should check all 3 of those boxes. So in the far left column, I want you to write down your 5 best clients. Okay. Then in the second column to the right of that, I want you to write down the immediate source. Where did that client come from? Oftentimes it was, may have been a referral. Maybe you spoke at a conference. They read a piece of content. Whatever it was, where did that client directly come from? Okay. In the third column, I want you to ask yourself where that source came from. Okay, what is it? So if it was a referral in column 2, in column 3, who was it specifically? Okay, if it was was it a piece of content you wrote 2 years ago? We're going further down the line. We're peeling the layers of the onion back. So what was the direct source of what you wrote in column 2? Okay. In the fourth column, we're going to ask what had to be true for that source in column 3 to even exist. What had to be true? What did we have to do for that source in column 3 to exist? right? This gives you the context. This gives you the things like a long-term relationship or consistent visibility or trust built over years. Then in column 5, we're looking at the root driver, right? What was the root driver of what you put in column 5 or in column 4? Okay, this is the behavior, the system, the investment that actually created the opportunity to begin with. This is the column that really matters most. So as an example, maybe your best client came through a referral that was a CPA partner, right? Which traces back to years of consistent relationship nurturing. Okay, that is not luck, that's a system. Okay, so again, those 5 columns. Column 1 on the left, your top 5 clients. Column 2, what was the immediate source of that client? Column 3, what was the source of that source? In column 4, what had to be true for what you put in column 3 to actually happen? What was the context? And then in column 5, what was the root driver of what you put in column 4? What was the behavior, the system, the investment that made all of the stuff in the previous columns true and actually happen? Okay. So once you've done this, and this doesn't have to take long, once you've done this, the next thing we want to do is work on spotting the patterns. There are patterns that come up when you do this. Right? So once you filled out the roadmap, I want you to step back and look at what repeats. Here are some common patterns that come up. Relationship concentration, right? Most clients trace back to 1 or 2 people. Founder dependency. Sometimes there's good and bad things that come from this, right? Everything runs through you as the owner. You might find that there's a vertical dominance, or you might find the opposite, right? Maybe there is no consistent pattern at all. More often than not, though, there is some type of pattern. So what I think you want to look for here are, one, you want to look for red flags. Are there things that make your business very fragile, like everything depending on one relationship? That's a pretty precarious place to be. Doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, right? So for example, let's say you realize that out of your top 5 clients, 3 came from a attorney referral partner. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means, guess what? You need to go out and find more referral partners exactly like that attorney. Success leaves clues. You're dependent on one right now because you haven't spent time building relationships. Go find more of them, right? But those are red flags that you want to look for. Green lights are healthy things worth protecting, right? And again, like a referral partner who's consistently sending great clients. When was the last time you met with that referral partner? Maybe you need to make sure you're investing the proper time so that you continue to build that relationship. Okay. Growth lever, and then look for growth levers. Are there things with real upside that haven't been pushed yet? Maybe there was a piece of content. Maybe there's an event that you've gone to once or twice and you're getting business from that. Well, maybe you need to go to other events like that. Okay. So, look for the red flags, look for green lights where there's really strong signals, right? Things that are worth protecting. And then growth levers are things that are working, but you haven't really maximized the opportunity. This step alone often changes how any owner thinks about their marketing plan, because it shows what's actually been working versus what you may think or may have assumed was working. I mean, isn't it worth taking 10, 15, even 20 minutes to work through this process, this is not difficult. It will be absolutely invaluable. So once we've spotted the patterns, then we need to turn that insight into a decision or decisions. Okay, going through this ideal client origin roadmap isn't useful unless it leads to you actually making a decision from it. Rate the root drivers on what you can control, what's repeatable, client quality and effort. Okay, keep this simple and then just make a decision from it. I want you to make 2 decisions. Choose one driver to double down on where most of your energy is going to go, and then choose another driver to support and reinforce that. Don't try to focus on all of the opportunities at once. Pick your highest priority and then priority number 2 and work on those. And then you can come back to this process again at a later date. Okay, this isn't I don't want you to add a ton more to your plate. Okay, what I want you to do is less, but I want you to focus on the right things. The things where you already have traction, but you haven't taken advantage of it. Focus on those things. Don't try to do too many things at once. But I hope you found the walkthrough of this process helpful. Again, this is a simple thing. Run through the ideal client origin roadmap process, spot the patterns, and then take those patterns and the insights that you gained from it to make 2 strong decisions about what you're going to focus on moving forward to generate more revenue, generate new clients. Okay, most owners think they know where their clients come from, but the real answer usually surprises them once they trace it back. Right? Clarity about your client origins isn't a nice to have, in my opinion. It is the foundation for every other marketing decision or growth decision that you're going to make. Your target market, your messaging, the channels you choose, the tactics within those channels. All of it gets easier once you know what's actually been working for you. So I would encourage you to block 30 minutes this week to do this for yourself, just 5 clients, 5 columns, and see what shows up. And if you got value from it, then message me. Tell me. I would love to hear this and get your feedback. But that's it. Go do it. 30 minutes. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing. If you feel like you're doing all the recommended marketing stuff, but you're still not seeing the results you need, you're stuck in the marketing maze. And if you want to get your roadmap out, head over to marketingengescorecard.com to find out exactly what's keeping your marketing engine from delivering consistent growth. It takes less than 2 minutes, so go do it now, marketingengescorecard.com. You can also connect with us over at rialtomarketing.com. That's RIALTO marketing.com. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, take care.